Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and I'm going to be doing a thread from Cassette Mayhem. Dan at Cassette Mayhem, he just released a video last night, and his idea was for your 5 go-to albums from your collection. These are 5 albums that you listen to often, have listened to, maybe you listen to at least once a month. It's something you're always, going back to, albums you love all the way through. And I went through my collection. I'm going to be showing some CDs, and I went through my collection, and I chose 5, so let me get right into it. First one I'm going to show is the latest from Metallica, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Now, when this one came out, it came out in, I think it was November 2016. I remember that following Christmas, my wife bought 2 tickets to the Metallica concert. They kicked off their concert in Mexico City, that's where I live. And they played, I think, like 5 nights or something like that. I went to, me and my wife went to the 3rd night. And it was the night because it was the first time they ever played the song Dream No More. So this is an awesome album. I always go back to it. Some people don't like it. I think it's, on the 2nd disc, maybe it takes a dip, maybe a little bit of filler, but that doesn't bother me. Hardwired, Atlas Rise, Now That We're Dead, these are all great. Moth into Flame, and the last song, Spit Out the Bone. I would say this is my favorite track and probably their best song since, I would say, the Black Album, hands down. All right, let me move on. Next is Anthrax, The Sound of White Noise. Now, back in 1993, Anthrax got a new singer. His name was John Bush. I, for some reason, wasn't familiar with Armored Saint at that time, but I really love this album. I think it's one of my probably a top 5 Anthrax album, maybe even top 3. I always go back to it. It's a very a unique sound. It's like thrashy, a little bit of alternative, but they did it right. The other John Bush albums, they didn't really hit the mark with it, but this one, really great album. So many good songs. It's solid all the way through. Let me move on. The next band I'm going to show is System of a Down with Toxicity. This is a band, maybe some people might not like it. I would really like nu metal, Korn, a lot of bands from that era. I mean, I like them. This is a solid album. It came out in 2001. I think it came out September 4th, right before 9/11. But there are so many good songs. It's a really heavy album, and this album was in the mainstream. MTV was playing it during the day. It was on alternative radio, and some really heavy songs. You gotta really listen to this album. So System of a Down, one of my favorite bands ever. It's my 3rd pick there. My next pick is Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies. This is an EP, mostly acoustic, but Lane Staley, what a great voice. I love all of these albums, and Nutshell is an awesome song. So many other good ones in here. It's it's a more of a laid back, mostly acoustic, but this is a great album. So this is my number 4 pick. My number 5 pick is Alice Cooper with Trash. Now, I have a lot of Alice Cooper albums. I could have picked a couple of them. I was maybe going to go with Love It to Death, but Trash is probably the first album that kind of got me into it. Came out in 1989. The song Poison was on MTV a lot. It was on the radio. I really loved this song Poison. And this is kind of Alice Cooper's hair metal period, if you want to call it that. He's gone through so many different like periods and styles, but I love this album. And I remember I bought this album, and it got me interested in Alice Cooper. So that's why I remember going to a record store, and I bought Billion Dollar Babies. I bought Welcome to My Nightmare, and I bought Love It to Death. You know, I started like buying his like older stuff, and I got into his older stuff a lot. But this album and Hey Stupid and The Last Temptation and Brutal Planet, I have that one here too. It's all awesome albums. So Alice Cooper Trash, that is my number 5 pick. So for those of you watching, if you want to continue with this, 5 albums in your collection that you always go back to, the ones you're always listening to. So this is a thread started by Cassette Mayhem. So Dan at Cassette Mayhem started this, and that's all. I'm ending off. So I will see you in the next one.